How do you use children's book to cope with the loss of a loved one? When a child loses a loved one, they can have a difficult time understanding and accepting the loss. If it's hard for an adult to come to terms with death, it must be even worse for someone so young as a child. To help children understand and work through emotions of their loss, books can be a huge help. The use of literature as a medium for children to cope with their problems help them recognize that they are not alone as they relate to the story discussion. Children's books allow children to share their feelings and provide structured communication between two individuals, which is particularly helpful when dealing with difficult subjects. Books have been used to open communication between children, parents, and teachers. With the correctly chosen book, story characters can provide an example guide to a patient through distress or challenges. Missing Mommy. The book Missing Mommy addresses the loss of a parent from a child's point of view. This touching story explores the many emotions a child may experience. Ultimately, Missing Mommy focuses on the positive, the recognition to the child is not alone but is still part of living, supportive family. Knock Knock. My Dad's Dream for Me. This powerful and inspiring book shows the love that an absent parent can leave behind, and the strengths of the children find as themselves as they grow up and follow their dreams. Grandmother's Gloves. After losing her grandmother, she feels sad and small and alone until she remembers all that her grandmother taught her and all that she has to teach. Full of light and life and solace of green, growing things, this movie and beautiful illustrated picture book explores a timeless bond with a warmth of joy. Saying Goodbye to Daddy. Readers learn of Claire's emotion after her father dies in a car accident. What she experiences are universal stages of grief. All explored realistically, her grandfather tries to answer all these questions while he still tries to make her value what of her dad. Avoid euphemism, like lost or asleep. Young children interpret things literally. We don't want to scare the child because if you tell them they are sleeping, the child may later be afraid to fall asleep. Let children know that you really want to understand what they're feeling or what they need. Grieving is a process, not an event. Parents and schools need to allow adequate time for children to grieve in the manner that works for the child. Pressing children to resume normal activities without the chance to deal with their emotional pain may prompt additional problems or negative reactions. Don't lie or tell half-truths to children about the tragic event. Children are often bright and sensitive. They will see through false information and wonder why you do not trust them to with the truth. Encourage children to ask questions about loss. Adults need to be less anxious about not knowing all the answers. Treat questions with respect and willingness to help the child find his own or her own answers. NationalOnline.org is an article that gives you extra tips on how to help children cope with loss of a loved one. It also explains to us it's important to recognize that all children are unique in their understanding of death and dying. It also gives us the development phases in understanding death by the age of the child. KidsHealth.org is another source amazing as well. It gives you other tips you can use. It also talks about how teens try to understand. There's many other resources you can find online of how to use children's book to cope with the loss of a loved one for children. Thank you for watching.